A recent poll revealed a startling truth. Over 60% of people believe in at least one conspiracy theory. This begs the question, are we living in a world increasingly captivated by the unknown? Is there a growing fascination with forces beyond our understanding? One figure, shrouded in mystery and whispered about for centuries, embodies this fascination, the Antichrist. According to biblical Christian scripture, the Antichrist is not just a metaphor, but a literal figure. The Bible provides numerous references to the Antichrist. In 1 John 2:18 it states, "Children, it is the last hour, and as you have heard that Antichrist is coming, so now many Antichrists have come. Therefore we know that it is the last hour." Additionally, 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4 describes the Antichrist as the man of lawlessness who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship. These scriptures and others provide clear evidence that the Antichrist is a real and significant figure in Christian eschatology. Prepare yourself, for the journey ahead may challenge everything you thought you knew. The Antichrist. The very name evokes a sense of dread, of impending doom. For centuries, this malevolent figure has haunted the darkest corners of human belief. From ancient scriptures to modern-day prophecies, the Antichrist represents the ultimate embodiment of evil. Across different cultures and religions, the Antichrist assumes various forms, each more terrifying than the last. A deceiver, a false prophet, a bringer of chaos and destruction. But one common thread unites them all, the promise of a cataclysmic struggle against the forces of good. The Antichrist's roots run deep, their tendrils reaching back through millennia of human history. The Bible warns us in 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4, "Let no one deceive you in any way, for that day will not come unless the rebellion comes first, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of destruction, who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship." This scripture makes it clear. The Antichrist is not a mere metaphor, but a literal figure destined to rise and challenge the divine order. The Antichrist narrative presents a unique challenge. How do we separate fact from fiction when dealing with an entity shrouded in mystery and speculation? The lines between historical accounts, religious texts, and cultural interpretations blur, making it difficult to discern the truth. While some dismiss the Antichrist as a metaphorical representation of the evil within humanity, many believe in a literal interpretation. They point to ancient scriptures and prophecies as undeniable proof of the Antichrist's inevitable arrival. This belief fuels the flames of debate, with scholars, theologians, and conspiracy theorists offering their own interpretations. Revelation 13:1. 2 describes the Antichrist as a beast rising out of the sea, with 10 horns and 7 heads and blasphemous names on its heads. This imagery is a stark warning of the Antichrist's power and influence. 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4 further supports this, describing the Antichrist as the man of lawlessness who exalts himself above all gods. But in a world saturated with information, how do we navigate this labyrinth of claims and counterclaims? The Antichrist in popular culture, from prophecy to the silver screen. The Antichrist's influence extends far beyond religious texts and historical accounts. This figure, shrouded in mystery and fear, is not just a metaphor, but a literal entity prophesied in Scripture. Popular culture has embraced this enigmatic figure, weaving the Antichrist narrative into books, films, and music. From the chilling pages of horror novels to the spine-tingling scenes of blockbuster movies, the Antichrist has found a home in the collective imagination. From classic literature like The Omen to blockbuster films like The Exorcist, the Antichrist has become a staple of horror and suspense. These stories captivate audiences with their blend of supernatural dread and psychological terror, making the Antichrist a compelling antagonist. These depictions often draw on traditional imagery and prophecies, presenting the Antichrist as a charismatic leader with a dark secret, capable of swaying entire populations with their charm and promises of a glorious future. This archetype taps into our fears of manipulation and deceit by those in power. While these depictions may seem fantastical, they tap into our deepest fears and anxieties about the future. The idea of an all-powerful, malevolent force lurking in the shadows resonates with our collective unease about the unknown and the uncontrollable. But do these portrayals accurately reflect the Antichrist described in religious texts? Or are they merely sensationalized versions designed to entertain and terrify? Daniel 7:25 tells us, "He shall speak words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change the times and the law." This prophecy is not just a metaphor, but a literal warning of a real figure who will rise to power. The line between myth and reality blurs as popular culture reinterprets ancient prophecies, creating a version of the Antichrist that is both familiar and alien, a reflection of our deepest fears and darkest imaginings. Signs of the times is the Antichrist among us. The world today is rife with uncertainty and turmoil. Every day we are bombarded with news of chaos and disaster, making it feel as though the very fabric of society is unraveling. Wars, natural disasters, and political upheaval have become commonplace, leading many to wonder if we are witnessing the fulfillment of ancient prophecies. These events seem to echo the warnings found in religious texts, suggesting that we may be living in the end times. Could the Antichrist be orchestrating these events from the shadows, preparing the world for their reign of terror? The idea of a malevolent force working behind the scenes is both terrifying and compelling, capturing the imagination of many. Some point to the rise of charismatic leaders, global conflicts, and economic instability as potential signs of the Antichrist's growing influence. These leaders often promise peace and prosperity, yet their actions may lead to further division and strife. Others see the erosion of traditional values and the increasing secularization of society as evidence of the Antichrist's insidious work. The decline in religious observance and the rise of materialism and technology could be seen as part of a larger plan to distance humanity from spiritual truths. While these interpretations remain speculative, they highlight the very real anxieties plaguing our world. The fear of the unknown and the search for meaning in times of crisis often lead people to consider such possibilities. As we grapple with unprecedented challenges, it's only natural to search for explanations, even if they lie in the realm of the unknown. Whether or not the Antichrist is among us, the quest for understanding and the desire for answers continue to drive human curiosity and concern. Throughout history, the concept of the Antichrist has been a powerful symbol of ultimate evil, a figure who embodies the darkest fears of humanity. Scholars and theologians have debated its existence and implications for centuries. In today's world, the idea of the Antichrist serves as a reminder of the potential for great evil and the importance of vigilance. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, the lessons of the past and the warnings of ancient prophecies continue to resonate. The Antichrist is described as an actual man, the leader of the one world religion and government who will eventually claim to be God. He will be the leader of the New World Order, a concept we've heard from several politicians for several years now. Many believe the Antichrist is already among us, citing Matthew 24:24. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. This verse suggests that the Antichrist could be present in our world today, deceiving many. Additionally, 1 John 2:18 states, "Children, it is the last hour, and as you have heard that Antichrist is coming, so now many Antichrists have come. Therefore we know that it is the last hour." This passage indicates that the Antichrist is a real entity, not just a symbolic representation. 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4 describes the Antichrist as the man of lawlessness, who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship. These scriptures support the belief that the Antichrist is a literal figure, a real entity who will play a significant role in the end times. The Antichrist's shadow implications for our world. The concept of the Antichrist has long been a source of intrigue and fear, capturing the imagination of countless generations. It is a symbol that transcends time, culture, and religion, embodying the ultimate adversary, and the harbinger of chaos. The enduring fascination with the Antichrist speaks to a fundamental aspect of the human condition, our deep-seated fear of the unknown. This fear is not just about a single entity, but about the broader uncertainties that life presents. The Antichrist becomes a vessel for all our anxieties, a representation of the ultimate threat to our existence and moral order. The Antichrist is not merely a metaphorical concept, but a literal being as described in the Scriptures. 1 John 2:18 states, "Children, it is the last hour, and as you have heard that Antichrist is coming, so now many Antichrists have come. Therefore we know that it is the last hour." This passage underscores the real and imminent nature of the Antichrist. Revelation 13:16, 17 warns, "Also it causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark, that is, the name of the beast or the number of its name." This prophecy has led to much speculation about the Antichrist's influence on global economics and politics. The Antichrist narrative also challenges us to confront difficult questions about good and evil, faith and doubt, and the very nature of reality. It pushes us to reflect on our own lives and the moral dilemmas we face daily. Are we prepared to stand against the darkness, or will we succumb to it? It forces us to examine our own beliefs and values and to consider the choices we make in the face of uncertainty. In a world where the lines between right and wrong are often blurred, the Antichrist serves as a catalyst for introspection and self-discovery. It compels us to question our convictions and the strength of our resolve. While the Antichrist may remain an enigma, the questions raised by their existence continue to resonate deeply within us. These questions are not just about a mythical figure, but about the very essence of humanity and our place in the universe. They challenge us to look beyond the surface and to seek deeper truths about ourselves and the world we inhabit. By exploring these questions, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We learn to navigate the complexities of life with greater wisdom and compassion, and to find meaning in the midst of uncertainty. The Antichrist, whether real or imagined, serves as a mirror reflecting our deepest fears and our highest aspirations, urging us to strive for a better, more enlightened existence. What do you think? Join the conversation. As we've seen, the Antichrist is a literal and formidable figure, shrouded in mystery and prophecy. But one thing is certain, the Antichrist narrative continues to captivate our imaginations and spark debate centuries after its emergence. What do you think? Is the Antichrist a real threat or a metaphorical representation of the evil that resides within us all? The Bible provides clarity. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let's continue the conversation. Revelation 13:1-2 describes the Antichrist as a beast rising out of the sea. "And I saw a beast rising out of the sea with 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 diadems on its horns and blasphemous names on its heads." This verse assures us that the Antichrist is a literal entity, destined to be defeated.